Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? Welcome back to my channel, and I hope everyone's having a good day. I am working on my number 2 tag for the Brooke Textile Artist 52 Tags in a Year challenge. So it's started by Brooke, and her channel is Brooke Textile Artist. And the hashtag for this, which is going to be probably listed in most of the videos people do, is hashtag tags handmade. And there it is, just so you know how to spell it right here. So the tag for week number 2, what Anne did as an example, and I started it because I thought it would take too long on video. So I got it started, and I thought I'd finish it up here and show you what I did. So first of all, Anne started with, well, not started with, but she used a heart, where she cut out a heart for her kind of accent piece on her tag. So I thought, let me see. You know, I was kind of racking my brain, like, I know I have some hearts here somewhere, but I probably have more than what I have here. But this is what I first found. I thought that it would be perfect. So I found a piece of fabric that I had with all these little hearts on it. So how perfect is that, right? Perfect little hearts. And I just went ahead and cut them out, kind of like fussy, cut them out of the fabric. So I have them all here. And what I think I'm going to eventually do is make a bunch of tags, but I'm making one right now for this challenge because that's what we're supposed to do for the challenge, and that's what I want to do because I want to participate in the challenge, is make one per week. So for this one, and what Anne did was she kind of patched together some fabrics and laces and things for her base, and then added a heart on top and sewed it all together with kind of like, you know, slow stitching. So this is what my base is right here, is a piece of pretty fabric. It's got like little pink and blue flowers on it. And then I wanted to get the patchwork look also. I mean, I could have just left this, but in order to get that patchy patchwork look, I added a piece of fabric here, which it's like a light cream and pink. There was no color requirement this week, just whatever color you wanted. This is a piece of trim, and this is some trim that I really want to use up some pieces. Well, I used a tiny piece here, but it's one of those things I have in my stash that, like, I have tons of it, and I really just need to, you know, try to use it as often as possible. So what I did was I placed these together, and I kind of did a whip stitch over here, and this is just a stitch around and around to get these two pieces together. And then over here I did a whip stitch to stitch this to this. So now I'm finishing up the whip stitch on this piece here. So that's what I thought we'd do together. And maybe what I've been doing different than Anne, or maybe other people, is I'm getting my base piece ready, and I stitch on my base piece, and then I glue it down to my tag. I just like the look of that better, because I don't want this, personally, I don't want this, the stitching in back of my tags, and I want a smooth look in back of my tags, and I want to use my tags not for personal journaling, but for my journals. So that's my kind of that's my thoughts behind the way, why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. So I hope that doesn't break any rules, but just kind of, I think it's probably okay to do certain things the way you want to do them, So this is just a whip stitch. Like I said, I thought it would be fun to do a couple little different stitches on here, although they're not complicated or anything like that, not like embroidery or anything. Not that embroidery is complicated, but I'm just saying simple little stitches to stitch your fabric together. And it can be pretty fast. I'm just using white thread, nothing fancy, nothing, thick, nothing, is regular thread. So it's easy just to thread a needle and stitch your fabrics together. It doesn't have to be any special, like anything. I was tempted to get some pink thread out, but I have so many different colors here. I didn't want to keep changing my thread. So that's why I just went ahead and went with the white thread. That goes with everything. I have certain basic colors that I use that, if I'm doing a project, I can use one color on lots of things like black and kind of ecru colored thread. So I've got one more stitch here, and this will be pretty much secure, I would say. So let me put it down through the back, and then I'll tie it off on the back and show you my little accent piece here. I think it's really pretty, one of the hearts, but I'll show you what I did to it. So here I'm just cutting, when I end this, I'm cutting it off the back. Second. Got my allergies as usual. I just went outside too, and it's cold, so that makes my that makes my nose sniffly. Cold. I'm allergic to cold weather, I think. Every time I go outside, and my nose gets sniffly when it's cold. Of course, it's sniffly inside too, so I don't know what the excuse is for that. I don't have any pets, so. I used to, though, and I just had to wash my hands after if I touched one of my pets for my allergies. I just had to wash my hands after I touched them. That's how I dealt with that, and was able to have pets with allergies. Plus, we don't have any carpets in our house, so it didn't hold in any of the little furry bits or pet dander. So that's how I dealt with having allergies and having pets, just in case you're dealing with any of that. Okay, so there's my base. So this is going to go like this. I'm going to glue it down, probably with some art glitter glue, and I think it'll look nice and pretty. And then here's my topper, which I already sewed together to save time on video, but it's a little heart, pink heart from that fabric. And what Anne said was she was using a contrasting heart compared to the rest of her fabrics. And this piece isn't necessarily contrasting, it matches, but the other ones I tried to contrast a little bit more. But I think this does stand out because, can you see how, this is kind of how it's going to look. I'm going to glue this down too. I'm going to glue this on here and then glue the whole thing down onto the tag. But the button I sewed together with a little piece of lace under there. There's like a ecru piece of lace, a pink button, sewed on with my white thread, this cut out of the heart fabric. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down now. So just to show you what I sewed, 3 pieces together here, and then I have 3 pieces sewn together here. So even though it doesn't look like, when you look at it, you probably don't say, oh, that's a lot of pieces, but you know, really it's quite a few pieces, but sewn together in a simple way. It doesn't look you know, like a lot of pieces, but you know, you don't have to have a lot of pieces. I mean, I could have done less pieces, like I said in the beginning. I didn't have to add the 2 side pieces here. I could have just used that fabric. If you want to do a simpler version, just use a base and then, you know, a couple of pieces on top, heart, a lace, and a button. And there you have 4 pieces right there all together. Or my version here has 6 pieces. So my last, let's see, let's glue this base on first, and then we'll glue a heart on. That might be the easiest way to do it. The last one I did for number 1, and I'll show you number 1 here and link that video below, so in case you didn't see the number 1 video in my beginning of doing this challenge where we did the white tag. That was the first one, doing a white tag, and that one I just loved. And when I was done with it, I was like, wow, this is so cool. And I used one of my favorite things on it too. That's probably why I loved it so much, a bunny. But here you go. So this is what I like to do. I put a lot around the edge and then smear the middle, because this middle part is a little thinner, the fabric is. So I'm going to wipe my finger off on there. And so then the glue won't show through my fabric. It didn't on the white one, and I'm sure it won't on this one either. Let me get this on here. And using the art glitter glue, it dries clear, it doesn't get shiny and all that. So it's really, if you can use it, if it'll hold down your fabric, it's really, you know, if you have a fabric that it'll hold down, it's really is nice to use with fabric too. Okay, see how nice and flat, and you know, it holds, of course. And now, so here's my little heart. I'm going to glue that down now. Let me grab my tissue again. Let's stick that in my pocket. Keep having to take care of my sniffles. Okay, so I'm going to put this right in the middle here as my little accent piece. And I'm going to go around the edges here. I feel like this doesn't have to be totally glued down on the edges. Like sometimes a little loose fabric looks really kind of cool. So I'm just going a little bit away from the edge, and then it'll spread out too. The glue will a little bit probably, so it'll be all good. And I'm going to center it right under my slot here. And this one I do have a slot. Oh, I just remembered that. I can put a little ribbon up there if I want, or something. Let's see what I have here. This is a good project for using up fabric scraps, I noticed. This was a fabric scrap. This little lace piece was a scrap, I believe. This is that trim, and this was a scrap, this little pink one over here. So there we have it. See how this is loose? But it doesn't matter. It's so cute just like that. Like I wouldn't try to glue that down. I just like it just like that. So let's see what I have here to use for a ribbon real quick. And I'm going to show you my other, I wonder how that would look on there. It's a scrap. I think it's too dark. I have some of that trim too I could use, but I would cut it in half. So let me get a piece out here and see how long I need it. See, this is the trim I'm talking about. I have a ton of this stuff. I should just put it in my Etsy and share it, but I don't know if anybody would want it. It's the trouble. I don't know if anybody would really want it. I like it for bits and pieces like this. And now see, I cut it in half like this for a lot of times too, to use for if I need a little strip of lacy looking trim. So it does come in really handy, but it is stretchy. So I don't know what it was originally used for, but I got it at an estate sale. So it was in the ladies sewing, you know, section of the estate sale. So I think this might fit through. Let me see how it's going to fit through here. Yeah, this is going to have to go something like, this is a very small slot, but I think I can get this through one piece at a time, or one piece and then tie it. See how it, I figured that would fit through. It's about, I figured half of it would fit just perfectly through there. And let me see how I can tie this now. Okay, this is going to look really pretty. Okay, so I can just tie it like this. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be fine. Awesome. Okay, so I could leave it like that. I wonder, I don't think I have enough to tie a bow, but let me see how it would look with the bow. And if I don't like it, I'll take the bow out, but I just want to see that real quick. Let's experiment here for a second. Oh, I think I might like it. I don't know. Let me see. All right. Yeah, I've got a big cup of coffee here, little background music. Oh, I like that. That's kind of cute with the bow. Yeah, isn't that nice? Let's see, I think this has to be a little longer. Let me see. Okay, I'm just trying to match the other side, the other bow on the other side, the length of it. Because the other side looks perfect. And I probably got this side too long. Yes. Perfectionist tendencies. Excuse them. Okay. Now isn't that darling? Oh, wow. I love it. I love it again. That is so weird. Like, you don't know how it's going to come out, but look how pretty. So I described it to you already. I'm not going to describe it to you again, but you saw what we did and how cute that is. Here's the one from last week. I have it right here. The bunny with the whites, and I did have a cheated with the blue button there. But yeah, you can watch that video for the explanation of the blue video, the blue button if you haven't seen that yet. But both very cute. So before this video is over, let me show you my other pieces. So here's the other hearts. I haven't put those with anything yet because I was like, I was gonna try to do them all right now, but I was like, oh, this is gonna take forever, because I have to slow stitch on them all. So I thought maybe I'll work on that this week during TV time or something. But see, here's another one I got ready for the one, like the one we just did. It's the same fabrics, but except I have, instead of a button, I have this little coffee dyed flower in the middle. Isn't that cute? So there's another one that can go on a tag after I sew it together. These I don't know if I'll add anything. I might just do them like this. Here's one here, and I try to keep in mind Anne's instructions for contrasting colors. So like this is very contrasting, like, but still, see that little strip of blue in there? It kind of goes. And then I put this on top as a extra accent that would stand out. You know what I mean? It doesn't blend in exactly. It stands out and it kind of matches this. So that's the thought process behind this one, that one. This one is red and red button, red patriotic almost fabric, or it is patriotic fabric. And then this is completely different, but it's got, somehow looks beautiful together. So that's another one that I can do. This one I don't know if I'll add any more, but this is separate. This is orange. This blue just really kind of, it looks good on there. And then there's an orange button, bring it all together. This one I really love right here. It's kind of a soft fabric in the back. And all of these back pieces I got from my scraps. This one too, it's a little kind of very, very light yellow. There's a little bit of green on it there, and then this blue heart. And this button right here actually is pretty much the same color as these colors right here. You see those? And then that button right there. I hope I'm showing it. I'm holding it in a way that you can see it clearly, but wow, I just thought that was so pretty. Okay, and a few more. This is denim and lace. I love denim and lace together. And then this pink heart with the blue button on top to match the denim. This one is some like mod fabric. I'm going to call it mod fabric I had in my scraps. This right here, and then see the stripes kind of set that off, and then a yellow button on top with the yellow. That brings that one all together. And this is from that same mod fabric with the stripes. The stripes I thought looked good with on that mod fabric. And here's a yellow, bringing the yellow out there. And then this one I was working on also with this polka dot fabric, and we have a polka dot heart on top with different, you know, the pink polka dots. This is white, of course, and then I have the white button to match the white polka dots. And this is a little selvage edge I cut off of one of these fabrics I was using. So it's a little like white selvage edge. So I'm going to cut this off, but I kind of was like determining the length. Like I wanted to stick down a little bit down here and up here, not be perfectly lined up with the fabric. So I was going to cut it like right here. So I just want to do it so you can see how it's going to look. So it'll be like white button in the middle, matching the white polka dots. And this will be tucked under the heart a little bit right here, I think. If I can get it tucked under there, I can show you. And something like that. After I sew it together, it'll be on the tag. And I can put a little something in the slot there. But I think they're all going to be really pretty. And these are all not to go with the challenge. Just as I was, you know, figuring this one out, I was figuring those out too. So these have less pieces, but this one was to go with the challenge. So that's why I added more pieces to it. But I think it turned out really pretty, and I'm really thankful for Anne for doing this challenge and giving us some great ideas on how to bring things together. So that is my tag for this week. Hope you enjoyed. And if you haven't joined yet, you can join. Probably just jump right in, or if you want to do a couple and catch up, you know, go for it. So see y'all next time, and happy crafting.